Hey guys, it's Morales. So today I'm going to show you how to clean your brushes using the Sigma Spa Mat. And I believe, I'm not sure, but I think I have the smaller one. It's the Express brush mat. That's the smaller one, right? I honestly probably need the bigger one. You'll see why when we get to the brush washing, but that's okay. Honestly, it works amazingly. I don't know how they did it. Like, it's still wet because I just used it, but it washed completely clean and it works so well. I don't know how they made this technology so awesome, but it's super easy. And so I just want to show you guys like how I do it and what I use to wash my brushes and how quick it is. It is so important to wash your brushes at least once a week if you're using them every day. If you only use the brush like once or twice a week, then I would say like you can probably hold off washing it until the next week comes up. But I wouldn't wait too long because bacteria can get trapped in the bristles of our brushes. Old makeup gets trapped in there, and if you're putting that on your face over and over, it can cause you to break out. So if you are breaking out in a certain area and that's not like the norm for you, and you haven't washed that particular brush, like say you're breaking out on your cheeks and you haven't washed your blush brush in a long time, that's probably why. So you might want to get on that and sanitize it and wash it up. I wash my brushes all together probably about once a month because I have enough brushes where I can use like a different foundation brush every day for 2 weeks straight. So it's like I only use the brushes once. I just have a lot of brushes. If you only have like say one foundation brush, girl, you better wash that like once a week. Same goes for beauty blenders. I already have a video on how to wash those and I will link it below, but this is all about how to wash your brushes. I also put my hair in a ponytail so it doesn't get in the way when I'm like bending over my sink washing my brush. So first I'm just going to show you my setup a little bit. Here I have like all of my dirty brushes. The ones in the brush cups are my brushes for my own face. These are all of my eye and like under eye brushes. The ones back here are all of my face brushes, and all of these along the side are my kit brushes. So these are the ones that I use when I'm freelancing. And normally you're not gonna have this many brushes to wash at one time, so it's gonna be a way faster process than it will be for me. Then over here I have a paper towel, and I like to use paper towels better because I feel like they soak up the water way faster. That's just what I've experienced. I don't know, that might not be the case for you. And now I'm just going to take my Sigma Express brush cleaning mat, and it has these little suction cups on the back so you can stick it into your sink. And I'm just gonna push it down so that it's stuck in here. The mat definitely comes with instructions, and I think it's funny because this one says ideal for modest brush collections, which mine is definitely not a modest brush collection, but who cares? So on the spa mat it has wash parts and rinse parts. So it actually tells you like what each little piece is for. Now the pieces that say refine are used when you have a brush that's like really dirty and you can't get it clean. So that's where we're gonna put the soap. So I'm going to put pumps of soap onto the wash parts. So I'm gonna put it on wash eyes, refine plus eyes, refine, wash face, and refine plus face. Sorry that the soap looks gross, but you know. Now I'm just going to start the sink and let it run only a small amount. I don't want to waste water, and I'm going to turn it off in a second. And I like to run the hot water. So I'm just going to wet these brushes, and I chose 4 eye brushes for now. And then I'm going to put them in the soap, and I'm going to swirl them around. And now I'll just set these down for a second, hanging off the sink on the paper towel. I don't want to put the soap, the dirty soap, onto the paper towel. I just wanted to set it down for a second. Now we're going to wet some more eye brushes, and then I'm also going to swirl them in the soap on the eye side. Now once I feel like enough eye brushes are soapy, I'll run the water again, and I'm going to pick up like 2 at a time, and I'm going to wet them and run them along the part that says rinse eyes. I'll rinse them, run them along here, and I'll just continue this process until the water runs clean. And once the water runs clean, the ones that are finished, I'll set them down on the paper towel. Now for any brushes that are a little bit more stubborn and the color won't come out, I'm going to put it on this part of the mat that says refine eyes, and I'm going to swirl it around in this little circle. And that should get the color out of it. You know that your brush is clean when it returns back to its original color. Now these 2 brushes in particular are being stubborn, and that's because they're both my Sidonolase EB13, and I literally use these brushes every day. So the color is like packed in there. And what I'm gonna do is use this part of the mat that says refine. It's not specific to any one brush, it's just a refine area, and I'm really going to like get the color out of them. And you just swirl them around. You don't need to apply extra pressure or anything crazy. You still want to be gentle with your brushes because you don't want them to fall apart. You're just gonna clean them and then we'll run the water over them again. And can you see the color is already like completely coming out? And then we'll go over the rinse section and we'll just rinse them clean. And there you go. It's very rare that I ever do one eye brush at a time because they are so small, they don't really require being done one at a time. Now we're going to move on to a face brush. This is the Zoeva 104 Buffer Brush, and this brush, as you see, is super dense. It has so many bristles and it has a lot of makeup in it because I've been using it every day for like a week. So it's only been like a week since I washed it, but I've been favoring it lately, so it has a lot of buildup in it. So we're gonna take this one on the face side and we're going to take it in both the wash and the refine section just because I know there's so much in here. So I'm gonna wet it and then I'm gonna swirl it on the place that says wash face. You can see all this makeup coming out. Then I'm going to put it on refine plus face. And you see even more makeup is coming out. And we can repeat that process as many times as needed. Swirling and running back and forth and then rinsing. So we're gonna get it wet and then we're going to rinse it. So it still has some makeup in it trapped in like the center bristles, so I'm gonna take more soap and I'm just gonna put it on the wash face side. And now we're going to rinse again. So now when I run it on the rinse part the last time and there are no more bubbles and I can tell there's no soap left in the brush, you'll look at the brush and I'll just squeeze out the excess water and see the color is all gone from the brush. The tips are back to their like natural off-white color and this brush is clean. So I always kind of squeeze out the water. I don't pull when I squeeze, I just kind of squeeze and then I'll set it down on my paper towel with the other brushes. Now lastly, we're going to do another face brush, and this is going to be one of the easier face brushes, whereas the last one that I showed you, the buffer brush, was definitely the most difficult brush to wash because it's so dense. So this is kind of a fluffier brush, it's not super dense, and we're going to do it in the same way, but it's going to be so much easier. So I'll just put some soap on my mat and I'll wet the brush. Put it in the wash face section and then I'll slide it a few times in the refine face section. Then I'll wet it and I'm just gonna go over rinse. And when there are no more soap bubbles, I'll rinse it one more time and then I'll squeeze out the excess water. So now you see my nice little starter. I mean, I didn't even make a dent really in my brushes yet, but that's because it's so much faster when I'm not doing it on camera. So the last thing we're gonna do is just rinse off our spa mat. So I just popped it off the bottom of the sink and then we're just gonna rinse it and you'll see all the soap and all of the excess makeup just washes out. And now I think we're good. Now when I'm done with this and I want to set it down to dry, I'll just put it on the other side of my counter. I know you can't tell, but this side of the counter is really small and then this side over here is actually huge, so I have a lot of room and I just kind of set it down and I wait for it to dry.